Welcome back to class, everybody. I am your Manchurian candidate, Professor Ethan.
And I am your patriotic Professor Ricky. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend in the States, and for everyone else, it was hopefully just a great weekend, frankly.
Yeah, we're independent of you.
What was the thing you opened with?
Manchurian candidate.
Care to elaborate, Mr. Too Cool for School?
What specifically?
Is it too bright? Is your future so bright you need to wear shades inside, my dude? You absolute animal.
Moving on.
Oh, really? That quick?
What about what's wrong with Manchurian candidate?
I'm actually really unsure what Manchurian candidate means.
Oh, okay. So what a Manchurian candidate is,
yes.
And this is now history podcast. So basically, a Manchurian candidate is a candidate that has been put up by another country.
Oh, like everything kind of comes full circle now.
It shouldn't.
It
was just a random thing.
I'm finally full circle here. I
There's
understand every implication. What
there's
you're talking
none.
about.
There's not a one.
Clear you're making a commentary of sorts.
I'm not.
It's obvious.
I'm really not. Yeah, I'm a Manchurian candidate.
You're full-blown political now. This is not a history podcast anymore. It's a political rant session.
It isn't. Another country told me that I must do the Weebology
pushing
podcast.
An agenda, I see.
Yeah, weebs are the best.
Okay, that's it. See?
That's my only agenda.
Circle. Is everyone riveted yet? But it is that time of the year, my students. This is the time of the year where a new season is upon us a little later than expected due to the whole isolation situation. And
I don't even know why it's so late.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even know what happened, to be honest.
You have no idea what's going on in the world right now?
Seems like you could probably just make anime.
Mr. Manchurian. But these studios are clearly, but unbeknownst to Ethan, doing what they need to do to keep their folks safe. But things are starting to ramp up for
so they say.
Summer 2020. So they say. Are they just? What do you think they're doing instead? Why do you think all of these animes have been postponed? Take a wild shot in the dark.
I think they're making mobile games.
You think they're all making mobile games?
Yeah.
Well, some of the ones on this list might actually be making mobile games.
Or they're making My Hero Academia movies.
So you think some of these studios in no way associated with My Hero are just like, let's throw our hat in the ring.
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
Just toss it. Heroes Rising? Nah, Heroes Landing. We're going to make a sequel they never asked for.
That was such a bad joke.
What must rise must land. And they're like, okay, White Fox Studios, let's land these heroes.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
How do you justify a satellite that goes up into space, orbits,
yes,
and then potentially flies out of our orbit and just goes on forever?
I don't actually justify that because gravity dictates it rotates quickly until it finally crashes when it's obsolete.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So what if space junk or something like that hits it out of the orbit?
It depends on the angle. It can make it land.
I'm just saying, what
abruptly.
If it doesn't?
So
guess what? It goes up and it never lands.
Well, it depends on where it lands. Mars?
It might never land. Is
Jupiter?
What I'm trying to tell you.
Saturn? All the planets, obviously.
The Milky Way?
Uranus?
Yeah, I don't know about
Neptune?
all that. I'm saying, what if it never lands?
Wow. You did hit me with what if
so
it never lands?
Physics are wrong.
Physics are wrong.
I knew it.
But at least back here on Earth, we are finally graced with a proper summer 2020 anime season. And as we do every year, or I guess a couple times a year, we speculate wildly at the ones we want to watch, what we shouldn't watch, and obviously ones we'll clearly skip until you'll get an episode, say 135 of something in this season we should have watched a long time ago. What is it? This
probably.
Episode 59? Something like that?
This would be episode 59.
Yes, we'll get to something in this season in episode 136. We'll finally get there.
Yeah, probably. There's going to be some masterpiece we don't watch.
But to find those, we're going to use our editing magic to bring up right here for your YouTube gang. I'm actually going to do something cool there. I'm going to use some chops. Challenge accepted. But follow along with us on YouTube as we scroll through livechart.me or use at home. Look at livechart.me. It's one of my favorite sites for looking at seasonal anime and the upcoming shows. But right up top, we got our boy ReZero Second season. Now, I like what they've done new here. They've actually added spoiler blurrings for season 1, but I'm going to click it. It's like opening Pandora's box. It can never be unclicked.
Well, yeah.
So for those of you who have not seen season 1, cover your ears, divert your eyes, because the synopsis here goes, even... What do you mean? Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know. I mean, it seems like the same studio, right? It should be the same studio. White Fox. Wait, did White Fox do the first one? Well, she does look pretty weird. But second season, part 1. I am actually super hype on this because I watched ReZero when it came out, and I haven't like really thought of it since then. And I think other isekais are gonna get the same treatment years from now, like say Shield Hero or I don't know.
They better get Shield Hero going pretty soon here, or else I'm gonna rage.
You're gonna rage?
I love that show, so
it's a great show, but
I think it's bloody horseshit they haven't done something about it.
You're already like I something tells me next week you're gonna bring out an accent and it's gonna be similar, if not worse. I'm not sure.
It's definitely better.
Well, I don't know how you could possibly know that. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be better.
But let me throw the synopsis your way. Let me tickle your fancy real quick about the second season. You don't have to.
I'm gonna watch it.
But still, I'm going to tell it to you anyway because people at home need to know. Even after dying countless times, Subaru finally ended the threat of the white whale and defeated the witch cult Sin Archbishop, representing Sloth. Oh yeah, Pentagles Renacani. But only shortly after overcoming a tragic ending and reuniting with his beloved Amelia, Subaru learns that Rem has been erased from this world, having fallen victim to the white whale's fog of elimination in the midst of Subaru's death loop. With the white whale now gone, Subaru and Amelia are forced to confront a reality they never dreamed would happen. Oh no. He gets Amelia back, but they now have to go save Rem. That makes a lot of sense. I'm hoping that do you think if they go for season 3, I mean this is only the first part. So it's clearly they're doing 2 pieces of this, so they're going to go over 2 seasons. Hopefully it kind of does a seamless transition as we've seen quarantine times, but I'm hyped for it. You know, I might rewatch season 1 because it's been a hot minute, but
yeah, so like I've watched it significantly more recently.
Okay, way recently. I mean, probably way more recently than I have.
Oh, absolutely, like within the last couple of months.
Oh, really? Okay.
The gripe I have is, and we talked about this on the Isekai panel or something like that, I believe, where like you have the ability to basically restart the day, restart the time, and you're using it like dumb sparingly.
But we brought that up on the panel as well at Anitube.
I know. I just don't agree with anything that y'all said.
Obviously it's so clear. Go listen to that panel to hear him dissent all the way through. But he has to do so at the cost of feeling death again.
Wah.
What do you mean, wah?
After 30 deaths, you think it's still?
I've experienced exactly 0 deaths.
I'm just saying.
I have no idea what that feels like. So moving on from that, another isekai, shocker, is Sword Art Online, Alicization War of Underworld Part 2. Now, is this Part 2, so immediately coming out, is this now enough for you to get to watch Alicization? I haven't watched it. This is technically Sword Art Online Season 3 proper.
Don't you think that would be tough for me to pick up after not watching Season 1, 2, or...
Wait, you've never seen any of them?
I watched a little of season 1, but I don't know the ending of it.
Fair enough. Okay.
I don't know if it's like a continuation story. So
Sword Art Online, it kind of is. Yeah, it is.
It's like what I did with Harry Potter. I started on the 7th book or 4th book like an idiot.
You absolute madman.
Look.
What?
I was a baby, essentially.
I was a youngin' of sorts.
All I can say is the 4th Harry Potter book does not stand on its own. It's very confusing.
Okay. But yeah, clearly. So I understand why you wouldn't watch it, but I do think as much as people gripe about Sword Art Online, I do think for folks like us, as we approach this space, both pleasurely and in leisure, but also academically, this does feel like required reading. This feels like that shit that teacher would give you that you don't want to watch, but you kind of have to understand the impact it has on the medium as a whole. Even hearing all that, you still think it's not... Like, would you consider this required reading for an anime fan?
Here's the problem. If it was just one Sword Art Online, I think you could say that. But when you start talking like, oh, and now there's a season 2, a season 3, a season...
This is coming from the guy who keeps pushing me to watch One Piece.
One Piece is different. It is absolutely...
You're right. Now, this only has maybe 3-ish seasons now.
There's a difference between the garbage that Sword Art Online is.
How do you know that?
Because it is pervasively thought of as trash by half the community. Nobody dislikes One Piece once they've seen it.
Moving on. Whatever.
You're not going to win this argument.
I know, but I'm saying... it's not necessarily... It is apples and oranges.
All right.
It's apples and oranges.
All right, cut the bullshit. Do you think it's required reading?
I kind of think it is, if you're an isekai fan.
So you've watched Alicization?
No, clearly not. I've seen I've seen 2 seasons more than you... Sorry, 1.6 more seasons than you have. How's that? How's that for credentials?
Okay.
But okay.
How's season 2 of Black Lagoon?
That hurts.
Move on.
That hurts. They'll know next week that we're a time traveling bunch. How dare you even bring that up? But next one. Now this one, not so required reading, but one that I am kind of curious about. Fire Force Season 2. Now it is David Production, the people behind JoJo's Bizarre Adventure animated series, but this particular show has gotten a lot of mixed reviews from the community because of their explicit use of Ichi where there didn't necessarily need to be. They kind of stifled character growth by slotting them in just the fan service categories. Have you finished Fire Force Season 1?
No.
I have a couple more episodes.
It's the one show I need to make sure that I finish just so like my disdain for it can be founded in pure fact rather than just like... No. 6 episodes of not enjoying it.
Genuinely. The thing is, I did enjoy it. I just fell off.
Fights were cool.
The fights
were cool.
So if you are a battle anime fan, this is going to get your gander. This is really, really good. David Production.
It's going to get your goose.
Get your goose. But at the time of this release, July 6th, this will have already been out, I think, for a couple days. This comes out July 3rd, so it'll have been out for a couple days the day we are, in fact, recording. Speaking of releases or re-releases, your boy Black Clover is coming back tomorrow. Also, Boruto, if anyone cares. Fun fact, I actually do, because now that we're done with our extra credits now, I am going to be doing Rick Rants. And my first one... Yeah, what do you mean, yeah?
You've been saying that for 6 months.
We have other shit to do, Ethan.
You've been saying it for 6 months,
We've been setting up business stuff.
Like I said, 6 months, bro.
Challenge accepted. All right, put it in the challenge. I need a challenge jar of things that Ethan challenges me to do, but I never do. I just put them in the challenge jar.
Right.
So, Fire Force Season 2. I think this might be higher up on my list because I think I need to see what all the hullabaloo is about. I understand all of the dissenting voices. I need to understand the people who celebrate it. My cousin celebrates it. He loved it like crazy, and I need to see why. So
Shinra Tensei.
Where did that come from?
His name is Shinra, and
that second part I'm very keen on.
So nice try.
Damn it, he got me. All right. Next one. My teen romantic comedy snafu climax. This looks like the finisher to this season. Again, I'm going to talk about my cousin Mirko a lot on the show from here on out because he finally visited, and he and I had some amazing anime conversation in front of my family, by the way, who had nothing to contribute. Like, he was riffing like we would on our caliber about his knowledge, but he's a very slice of life romance guy. He loves these shows.
Mirko, my guy. Come on.
He's a fan. He's a big fan of these kind of shows, and this is one of his favorites. So shout out to you, Mirko. The climax is coming up this season. The synopsis, if you care to know, but I know they do. My teen romantic comedy snafu returns with the series' long-awaited conclusion and resolution to the nail-biting cliffhanger ending of Season 2.
I wonder if they think their show's good.
Oh, shots. fired. My goodness. But the messy emotions of Hachiman, Yukino, and Yui won't be easily expressed. As the members of the service club band together to host a school prom, they will have to put their feelings into words and truly learn to understand each other at long last. ... If the service club can even stay afloat, that is.
Gotta say, it sounds like a really bad synopsis, but I'm sure the show is deep.
We have brought the studio up before, but the studio is all lowercase, feel, period. That's literally, look at that, feel, period. And if you go into it and look, they're very romantic. They know what they are. I respect this company for what it is. They know what they are. Kiss X Sis, Mayo Cheeky. Like,
sounds like a ripoff of my favorite Oron Host Club.
It really is probably my favorite slice of life or like shoujo or basically anything over there. So, you know, if you're a fan of slice of lives, you have the miracle guarantee. He gushed about it. I may not watch it. By may mean
so what did
probably
you
never
to that conversation.
An ear, 2 ears. I heard
Fair
him
enough.
out. I heard him out.
Said okay. Yeah.
So
I'll totally watch that.
I told him I'll consider it. But we have Food Wars, the 5th plate. Now, a couple things about the show. One, it was the show was postponed to July after the 2nd episode because I know it started. It currently has an 8.3. My opinion of this show is that it should have ended at the end of season 4. I think a lot of people have this perspective, just the way that the show ended. Do you ever plan to watch this show? I don't want to. This synopsis does kind of go into a little bit.
Now that it's on Netflix.
Okay, I don't know if they have the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah,
you
but
can
what
check.
I'm saying is, if I watch a couple.
Where are you going with that accent?
Seasons, right? And then I maybe get a little into it. Maybe I would go and find out where the rest of it is. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, he can't see this synopsis, but YouTube gang can read it as I talk about it. The way that season 4 ends, it feels... Whoa, my boy. Oh, did you get the Netflix trailer?
Sure did.
Yes, you did. So, it felt like such a beautifully natural end of a 4-season
wow, there's
brilliant...
only one season.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Think of, like, having a story...
It felt like putting the correct demi-glaze on your reduction of onions and mushrooms on a sweet and smoky undertone.
You know, I hate the tone, but I respect the effort. Like, I really do.
Hey, thanks, man.
No, I do. But imagine, like, tying up a storyline.
A beautiful ostrich flank.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the twine on your beef shank, if you will. And then even after it's fully cooked, like, I don't know. That's the opposite analogy, which kind of sucks. It's like writing, I don't know. It's like writing a perfect essay and then adding, like, an entire new page. And you're like, this was done. Like, this was an A, and now it's a C. What have you done here? Like, why would you add more? There's no more to this, in my opinion, that needs to be. I'll watch it. Let me not
He's
sugarcoat
mincing
that.
words at the moment, but what he's gonna say is,
Mincing
I love this show, and I'm gonna watch it.
I do love this show.
I'm a dirty little food boy.
I'm a dirty little chef, and yes, I do love Food Wars, and I would love to do an episode about it in the future. I think it'd be really good to do an episode on the show after the 5th plate ends, because that's a discussion I want to have. It's the arc that never should have been, in my opinion. But time will tell if it can live up to the hype it's built over 4 seasons so brilliantly. Even people online are like, are people still watching this show? No, because it should have been done. It's done. Seasoned perfectly. And then they added so much salt at the end.
Oh, no.
Let's see what's going on.
I actually prefer, like, 0 salt in my stuff if I can get it.
Really?
I don't know why. It's never been, like, a thing that, like...
You're not a big salty dude?
I would prefer fries without salt. And...
You animal.
I'm sorry. It's just how I feel.
You cretin.
I think it is not an additive.
I believe. I guess not on all foods.
I think it's a hider.
What are your thoughts on a little salt on chocolate chip cookies?
Not a fan.
It is so augmentive. It's crazy. I don't know. I guess my palate's more refined than you. Moving on.
Yes,
whatever.
Salt on a chocolate chip cookie. Very cool.
But while
how about pepper on a boiled egg?
That's great. Yeah, pepper on a boiled egg is amazing. I don't know where you get off thinking it wouldn't be.
Fair enough.
While JC Staff is doing Food Wars, Mappa's over here just crushing the game. Would you agree?
Mappa has... I don't know if they got like new direction or what.
I think they might have. No,
maybe like a new CEO that says, hey, we're going to actually be good now. Like actually really fucking good.
They used to be someone, I think Mappa absorbed him or something. Like back in the OG Attack on Titan days, like season 1, that studio was something else before Mappa.
IG Production, you mean?
No. They were something else that began with a W. Someone in the comments help me out with this one. Maybe Wiz. It had the same motorcycle opening that Mappa always had. But then like Mappa like mangled it and then took the name. In any case, whatever they did, it's clearly working for them because the last couple of bangers that have come out have been Mappa. Wit Studios, thank you.
Wit.
Hey, high five on that one. Drop your phone. Give it to me. Boop, I'll take that. But the reason why I bring up Mappa is because of the show that I argue is the talk of the town. The god of high school.
Not only do I argue that it is the talk of the town.
Yes.
You
so
absolute fool.
Let me tickle you with the synopsis really quick. Jin Mori has proclaimed himself the strongest high schooler. His life changes when he's invited to participate in, quote-unquote, God of High School, a tournament to determine the strongest high schooler of all time.
What a dumb premise.
Okay, yeah, I will say, this is already not cool in terms of the way the premise is, but he is told that if he wins, any wish he makes will be granted. Smells a little like Tower of God, don't it? Also coming from a Korean...
Smells like Teen Spirit, after all.
It's like a Korean Nirvana just pumping out
my
hits.
Mosquito, my libido. Yeah.
That's totally the words, right? That's how the words go?
That's literally the words.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
He has a real groveliness about him. You just kind of like...
Couldn't you tell it in my voice?
I could, yeah.
My mosquito.
However...
Life is stupid.
We could do a concert podcast. You can just do it. You want to go?
Macadacious.
No, we're going to cut it off here. But I will say that all participants are powerful contenders who fight their hardest for their own wishes. What awaits them at the end of the Tower tournament? Sorry.
Oh, no, not one of these.
A chaotic battle between unbelievably strong high school students is about to begin. Okay, so I've said it ad nauseum, but this is basically the founding father of what I argue is the new wave of anime. Like Tower of God, the God of High School, these are the founding fathers because these studios are willing to invest their time, money, and talent into new avenues for narratives and plot. In this new age, it's Korean webtoons, in my opinion. And Tower of God, arguably...
They will be the god of this new world.
The god of this new world, baby. And I think Tower of God kind of, kicked the door open a little bit, but God of High School has a responsibility of walking in. Like, it has to keep this train rolling. And
can I ask you, what do you think the significance of the god in each of these titles is about?
I guess it's the matter of the ability of your wish or desire being granted. There is no limitation on what you can do, I guess.
Yeah. What I mean is, why are both the ones that are both Korean manhwa, they're both God of something or Tower of God? Like, why is that, in your opinion, the two shows they chose?
I think at this point, because it is such an unexplored avenue, they needed to pick things that align more closely with Japanese narratives. Think the big three, right? Are there gods in One Piece? Like literal kami? Because there are kami, there are shinigami in Bleach, and there are definitely kamis referenced in Naruto. The god of shinobi, the god of this, the god of that. It's a narrative trope in Japanese narratives to employ kamis or gods into their narrative. So I understand this. I understand why it would be attractive for a Japanese audience.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You still haven't answered about gods in One Piece because I have not watched it.
So
I'm not gonna watch it.
There's a character that considers himself a god.
Is that the light guy?
Lightning, yeah.
The one with the big earlobes?
Exactly, Enel.
Edo?
Enel,
that's it. Okay. I've seen a fight or two. I will say, I know some character names. I'm a YouTube boy. Don't even at me right now. I'm just chilling.
I mean, I watched a fight on YouTube, so I've seen the show.
Yeah, clearly. All 1,100 episodes of it, obviously.
Mm-hmm. One of these days you're going to watch it, and you're going to be so apologetic on the mic.
I mean, maybe, but
you're going to be so apologetic, and I'm just going to lap it up.
Cool, but
as if a kitten at a bowl of warm milk.
You know what? We can do it in a syllabus sidebar. My adventures in One Piece. Like, I can watch an episode or two a day, make it like a daily thing. I'll see you in 5 years. Like, I'm finally
sounds
done
good.
With it. Cool.
You got our content sorted.
Content done. So we have this show that looks a little fresh, a little new, called The Misfit of Demon King Academy. Which, man, it's already looking a little generic. But let me riff off this. Jesus.
I'm gonna be honest. There's a shitload of girls on this picture.
There's a lot.
So I have a sneaking suspicion we're looking at a
harem situation for sure. But the tags only are fantasy, magic, and school. So they're really
and harem and ecchi and.
Let me start with it. Just give you kind of a breakdown of what I'm looking at here. The tyrannical Demon King has reincarnated after 2,000 years. However, his suitability to the academy that educates candidates to become the new Demon King renders himself a misfit. So basically, he's called an...
I've actually seen this preview.
Okay. How'd you feel when you looked at it a little bit?
Actually seems solid, but generic.
So what I'm looking at basically, it's called Anos Voldegord. Basically is the name of this tyrannical Demon King, and he comes back, and he is basically a putz at his new school. A real solid C- of a student, I guess. Made by a studio called Silverlink. We've heard this one before. Let's see what they've made before. They have a lot of stuff to their name. Some stuff that's in the 8s. Okay. I mean, they're not new. They're not new to the game. Maybe I'm just not recognizing the Japanese name for some of these, but in any case, it looks like they're pretty ecchi in a lot of these
Why
stuff.
Don't you click one of the 8s and figure out if they happen to be a show that everyone.
I'm sorry. Do you want to drive, or do you want to remember what happened last time?
That was a isolated incident.
It's the only incident.
And it was. I would wager 99% your fault.
Oh, how you figure? I'm curious.
So we got to the end of our summary, and you said, "Here's a computer, find more," and we were at the very dregs of the bottom,
which is so funny. But then after I took it back, you then pointed out more I didn't say.
Yeah, because
how dare you?
I was caught off guard.
So Silverlink made My Next Life as a Villainess. All routes lead to Doom, which has been getting some serious hype.
Tanya the Evil.
They made Tanya the Evil? Holy shit. No, they did not make Tanya the Evil.
Okay, my bad.
But this
different
is
villainous.
That villainous one. We heard a bunch of people from the Anitube Con talk about it very highly. It's like a Konosuba if it were a little more shoujo influenced, but it's still apparently very funny.
You know what? I could be okay with that, because I will say the one thing about Konosuba that's just like insane is like how drastically they lean into the ecchi portion of it.
Yeah.
So I imagine the shoujo version of that would have less of that, is my guess.
It looked like it had less, but the thing, I can't really speak to it, but you're right. Like, Konosuba definitely went in on the ecchi and...
like way overboard.
To the point where people had online flame wars about if Aqua wore underwear or not, which they answered in the movie, by the way. And I'll never let you know the answer unless you watch it. Fruits Basket's second season is, I guess, another piece that's the second season of the remake that's coming back. TMS Entertainment, which made not Tower of God, it's got it on the brain. Dr. Stone and a couple others.
And a lot of other shows like Megalobox.
So they know it's a studio that can hold up, but Fruit Basket's definitely one you should check out if you are a fan of the shoujo slice of life genre. It has quite a pedigree of quality and excellence, literally sitting at an 8.51. So that's not a trifling score. But this one, the one that you gave me shit for last time, Balance Unlimited. This show,
The Millionaire Detective, Balance Unlimited.
It's literally Sherlock Holmes, but for the Japan crowd, for the anime folk, but
for the rich.
But it's sitting at an 8.1, which, okay.
8.15, essentially.
They can see it's an 8.14. Like, this is on screen.
Basically an 8.4.
But I mean, okay, you know what? This might have to be up there. Like, I see it. I like the mystery.
How's it feel?
Comedy, mystery.
How's it feel?
How's it feel on my skin?
No, the egg on your face right now.
What do you mean egg? Have you seen it?
No, but
you're still bitter at me for skipping over it last time.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. How dare you?
How's the egg on your face feel?
It feels as good as Cloverworks' bank account right now because it's clearly a good show. And it's they did Darling in the Franxx, which actually has
Neverland.
Promised Neverland, and they Fairy Tale, right? Cloverworks did Fairy Tale. Well, it's right here. Like I said, they see this. Like, I don't know I don't know how Darling in the Franxx got a lower score than some of these. Actually, no, I don't. I totally understand why. Darling. It got a lower score than Bunny Girl, which I actually watched a couple episodes of.
Got a lower score than Bunny Girl?
Well, it's about a guy who can only see this girl in a bunny suit, like, and she helps him with his homework. It's fucking rad.
Darling in the Franxx is better.
Oh no, well, not according to these scores.
0-2, bruh.
It's a literally 8.92 versus a 7.84. It's an entire point.
Really?
Yeah. Look at that. Everyone at home, I'll zoom in.
That's actually.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
What are you gonna say, Ethan? You don't want to say if it's not worth being on mic for it, then don't do it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
He almost canceled himself. Everybody, shit. I don't even know what he said, but I can extrapolate.
I mean, don't let your mind run wild. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't my mind. You're the one who ran with it first, my dude.
I didn't say anything.
You should have. And now that you didn't, we're all extrapolating. Oh, this is that Monster Ichi show. It's coming back. Monster Girl Doctor. Oh, this is a different show. Maybe. In a town of Lindworm where monsters and humans coexist, Dr. Glenn runs an exemplary medical clinic for monster girls with his Lamia assistant, Safi. Whether receiving a marriage proposal by a centaur injured in battle, palpitating the injury of a mermaid, or suturing the delicate wounds of a flesh golem, Dr. Glenn performs his job with grace and confidence.
Why is he palpitating an injury?
Palpitating. I'm not really sure.
That means like pushing on it.
Yeah. Palpating. I'm not a linguiste.
Oh.
If egg wasn't on my face before, there's a little on my face now, I'll admit.
He's dripping with egg.
But conflict. When an unsavory character seeks to steal a harpy egg, how will the unflappable Dr. Glenn respond? ... Question mark.
This sounds so stupid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch this, but it might be for somebody.
In hell.
If you're into comedy, ichi, fantasy, romance, go to town. Definitely. There's definitely a zombie girl.
Our boy Blaze might like that.
Oh, Blaze, get after it, my dude. Yes, this is your show. This is for you. What else we got? Okay, I did look at this one before. Decadence. Deca-Dence. It is action adventure sci-fi. Put on by Studio Nut. Come on, dude. Make a joke. This studio is about to nut its way all the way to the bank for this one, I think.
Ay.
Hey, man. I was teeing you up a nice little softball. And
I couldn't think of anything that was funny. So
I went for the lowest fruit and grabbed it, dude. I didn't want to hear it.
So,
whatever. But little synopsis.
Hey, guys, we need your Patreon money so Ricky can go to comedy school.
Oh.
Get clapped, kid.
That one actually hurt. How dare you? And it hurt more because you had sunglasses on inside. I think that's really the what drove it over the line, that you're so cool.
Just that I don't give a
It's clearly you don't.
Yeah.
Except for your eyesight health, because you're shielding yourself from fluorescent light.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got to be careful.
Yeah, so you don't give a fuck, but you do give a fuck though, right?
I don't care about my appearance to other folks,
but I care about the way I see the world, and I want it to be a little dimmer than everybody else.
Honestly, if I was allowed to wear sunglasses at all times of the day, I would. But like I said, I care about what people think about.
Fair enough.
Which is obviously the exact opposite.
But it's clear, it's clear you don't care but care. But at least care about this, because many years have passed since humanity was driven to the brink of extinction by the sudden emergence of an unknown life form called Godal. I already don't like it. I'm sorry. Like, this feels like what we just will talk about next episode. Sorry. But next episode about Kagaster. It kind of already feels that way. Those humans that survive now dwell in 3,000-meter-high mobile fortresses, decadence, built to protect them from the Godal threat. So there's two types of people here. Gears, warriors who fight the Godal daily, and tankers, those who without the skills to fight. So they're kind of... Wait, why is it called tanker? It seems like that would still fight, right? But that sounds like a more badass name than Gears. Well, there's a tanker girl who dreams of becoming a gear.
Wow, what do you know?
Yeah, meets surly Kaburagi, an armor repairman of decadence. And they seem to be opposite forces of each other, and they will inevitably shake the future course of this world. Okay, generic, okay.
Attack on Titan, just higher in the air.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, if you look at the poster right here, this even looks like Omni-Gear.
I can't see it, it's too... Just kidding.
Do you see? Look at that. It looks like Omni-Gear, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's straight up. This is a ripoff.
So do you feel okay?
Can I just say?
Yeah. Go.
Don't
go for it.
name your effing show something with a hyphen. That's literally one word. Decadence.
Well, it's supposed to be a play on decadence. Come on.
Just say fucking decadence then.
Well, it's not as cool.
It absolutely is cooler to say the word decadence than to separate it with a hyphen.
Well, no, adding something to something that didn't need it in the first place is obviously cooler, right?
This is a joke.
Yeah, cause like
comedy school,
like
folks,
adding
please,
like adding
it.
Sunglasses when you're inside and you don't need them. It's obviously cooler when you add it, right? Right?
I don't see how that applies, frankly.
Totally unrelated. Let's see what else we got here. Wit Studio. Okay, so Wit Studios is something different. Wit Studios is a totally different independent thing.
Yeah, it's not. Hey, so that last show.
Yeah, what you got?
I think it could like surprisingly be okay, similar to like a Cabinary of the Iron Fortress.
Okay, this brings up a question I want to ask you. We might explore it next week when we talk about Kagaster, but do you feel that
maybe Who knows?
Attack on Titan clones are gonna be like the new isekai? Like they're gonna be flooding the market essentially, because we have a number of them coming out.
I mean, I definitely didn't think that until now.
Okay. Well, that's my opinion. I was hoping maybe, like, do you think that they'll actually, just because they have an Attack on Titan feel, they'll succeed the same way isekais back when Sword Art Online came out? They just like, oh, another world? That'll give us some money. Do you feel that Attack on Titan-esque shows will make its own little subgenre and make cash just by merit of them being a clone?
No. I think...
Okay.
There are people cloning it because it was really successful, but
like Studio Nut.
I'm just saying I don't know that it's gonna like be a smash success for every single one of them, and they're all gonna be famous and rich and stuff like that. I'm just saying this, like the story is still a solid like undertone. Like I think
it is. Yeah. Like
if they play it right, it can be decent.
Like the desperation of humanity fighting against an obviously overwhelming threat. That's a good premise.
And
like,
having,
roll with that.
Trace groups that you can be in.
Mm-hmm. And special gear.
Special gear and all that.
Special ops. This one I looked at a trailer for. The Great Pretender, because it's actually been out since June 1st. So I wanted to look at it. It's action-adventure comedy. The aesthetic is really cool.
Great Pretender.
So here's how it goes. It's about a swindler. It's about like a con artist. Masato Edamura is supposedly Japan's greatest swindler. Together with his partner Kudo, they try to trick a Frenchman in Asakusa, but unexpectedly get tricked instead. The Frenchman, who they're trying to swindle, turns out to be Lariant Theory, a much higher level, quote-unquote, confidence man in control of mafias. Edamura yet to find out what fate awaits him after having engaged in the Frenchman's dirty jobs. I'm actually, after watching the shows I've been watching recently, I'm kind of into this. The aesthetic looks cool. It looks like
a video game,
a little video gamey. It's
a little bit.
I don't know. The line work and the colors are very popish. Like they aren't. Really...
I like it a lot. The art on the screen here, which you all can see, unless you're listening to the podcast, like most of you. The art looks very interesting. It looks solid. It looks descriptive.
It looks
discreet.
Unique. Yeah, it doesn't. It looks like it's trying to stand out, but also succeeding in that measure. But this is one of the few that have been out for a hot minute. That's been out since June 1st. But it says right here that Netflix Japan is premiering episodes in batches prior to regular broadcasting, which does begin July 8th. So in a couple days from now. So you will be able to check this out pretty quick. And I think I might start ripping this.
Yeah, I'll watch it. It looks solid. It's a really cool kind of idea.
Specific scientific railgun or something like that.
Spaghetti.
A certain scientific railgun tea. Now, I blame Patrick every time these comes up because he told me not to watch these because he couldn't get into them and he hated them. But the little bit that I did see of this series, freaking phenomenal. Like, I loved it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty decent, and this is like a bad take Patrick had. I'll be the first to admit it.
You were literally the second one. I just admitted it.
Right, like I said, I'll be the first to admit it wearing sunglasses, and you'll be the first to admit it not wearing sunglasses.
I like it. I like it a lot. Perfect. But the thing I will say about certain magical index, certain scientific railgun, it is kind of a slog to get through the early stuff. They didn't really hit their stride until third season of certain magical index, in my opinion. But if you want to,
ouch.
No. But the thing is, there's so much more after that they have the majority of it now is good and very fast paced, very cool to see. So
all I can say is not an amazing pitch. If you say you have to get to the third season before it starts,
I give it to him straight, man. I'm not trying to pitch this one. This one you have to slog through a little bit. There's a show that literally has hentai in the in the title. Doku hentai HX Heroes. Super Heroes. HX Eros. I'm going to call it HX Heroes.
Eros as in the god of love.
Into that. Okay. So we have
Ricky. How do you not remember all this stuff from freaking?
Because it never had an HX in front of it. I will say, by the way. So how do you pronounce that shit?
It's just clear because there's a lowercase x and then an uppercase e.
So you're not telling me that this is Heroes, but they added some things in like Decadence did?
Correct.
So and you're still celebrating it?
I'm not saying it's good.
You heard it here first, folks, that he thinks Super Heroes is going to be the best anime of this season.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a sleeper pick for 2020. Potentially better than everything we've watched so far.
But it's action comedy, ichi school, shonen, and supernatural. Which, okay, whatever.
It sounds like...
All right, hold on. Here on. We got a synopsis for you. Earth faces an unprecedented threat from an invasion by the mysterious Keseichu. The Keseichu feed on human sexual energy, also known as H energy, and weakens the human population as a result. High school student Reto Enjo is a member of the hero group HX Eros, who fights together to save the Earth from the Keseichu. I get now the HX Eros. I get it now.
I get it too.
You didn't get it before. And you still try to call it Eros, but you did call it early, so I'll give you.
It is Eros, you asshole. What do you mean try to call it? It is
giving you shit. Oh, dude, but this one looks interesting. Jibiati, essentially Jibiati action adventure horror. Interesting. In 2030, people of Japan are turning into different forms of monster based on their age, sex, and race. The illness known as Jibia, after being rich in variety like Jibir. A pair of samurai and ninja appear in the blighted wasteland of Japan. So it's going to look like it's a little gory, maybe a little signing for you guys. It looks like it's got a really cool aesthetic. It's
kind of like a Hellsing aesthetic.
Yeah. So I'm into it. Okay.
I gotta be honest, they're opening themselves up for some serious issues with the different sexes and races turning into different monsters.
Yes, they are. I was just thinking that. Like, what are they doing here? It smells. You know what it smells like?
Teen Spirit.
Apocalypse Zero.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I don't want to think about that anymore. What else we got here near the bottom? We got Pocket Monsters.
Thanks, Two Guys in a Warehouse. You've scarred us.
Scarred me in my brain forever. I still have a punch flight. I owe one of you. Pocket Monsters. Have you watched any of that yet?
No.
It looked good. I saw a clip on YouTube or two, and it looked quite delectable.
How do I even watch it? Like, what the fuck?
I'm not really sure. It looks like you can watch it on no platforms, not from this site, apparently. What else we got down here? People are going to be mad that we're going to skip some shit. You look on and see if you see anything that tickles your fancy.
Ninja Collection.
Horror Supernatural. Okay, what do we got here? It comes out on the 4th of July. So if you're looking to do nothing.
If you're looking to be independent. You red coats. How's that feel? Gonna tax our tea?
I guess so.
Well, here's the tea, sis. We're not having it.
Here's the tea, sis. This show is set in modern-day Tokyo, where dreams and desires are afloat. I'm not really sure what that means. A group of ninjas called Tokeetsu is set to stop the spread of quote-unquote darkness. I don't know why they quote darkness. What does that mean?
Just like bad things.
Just general moodiness that prevails in the world using ancient techniques passed down through generations. That's some generic ass shit.
Yeah, that was so undescriptive.
Somebody watch it and DM us and let us know if it's worth watching. I'm gonna give you that homework because what are you gonna do? What else we got here, buddy? What else we got here?
We're probably near the end here, but I saw it here in Osora earlier on. You skipped it like a bajillion years ago.
Well, let me know when I find it.
There.
Oh yeah, the basketball one. I still have to finish Kuroko no Basket before I watch anything else.
I agree. I'm just saying. I think this is a
good one. Yeah, it's clearly it's surviving the test of time.
Right. That's what I was trying to say.
Note 4 core series. I don't know if that means there's 4 seasons. But if anyone knows what that means, then you go, oh, but it's 50 episodes, by the way. I guess this cut of it, so.
But I mean, it's a bloody 8.0. I mean,
it's a good sports anime.
It's about as bloody good as it gets, mate.
Your accents today. We got to do something about this. You see anything else on this list that you're super keen on? No, that's really it. Frankly, we got some weirdos at the bottom. Fanworks, Comet Studios that I would not exactly.
Banana Man the anime.
Hold on a second. I want to end on this one. We can look at the movies super quick if we notice anything. It's called Wacky. I am not reading that synopsis. No, I'm not doing that.
Hell no.
Wacky TV Nanana. It's not a banana, Ethan. How dare you insinuate? It's the Wacky TV Nanana chasing the Kraken monster.
He certainly looks like a banana.
So it's 24 episodes, but the runtime is 3 minutes each.
So we could totally watch this.
We could crush this in literally an hour and change. That's beautiful. Well, hey man, I think we got some good gems to look forward to. Some stuff that'll make us go back and look.
Yeah, we got Ray Zero. We got God of High School,
Fire Force, and we have Food Wars coming back when they had a small
$1 billion unlimited boy.
In my mind, I think that might be the next up on my list because there needs to be something here. Dude.
So I was going to watch it. I could not find it on any of my streaming platforms.
Really?
Yeah.
And you weren't willing to go sail the high seas?
I could.
Okay.
Which is what I had to do for Glyton.
But me too. But it wasn't enough. This show wasn't appealing enough for you to try to sail the high seas for it in the moment.
I just have a really fat list of my next to watch on both Hulu and
genuinely feel that
Crunchyroll. For instance, I have finally gotten to Claymore on Hulu.
Oh, interesting.
It's a classic.
I've heard it. I've just never even given it a second
Exactly. I'm a classics guy.
I guess so. Well,
I'm your classics professor. Ricky is your isekai professor.
No, not just isekai.
That's all he watches.
I'm not. Absolutely not. Absolutely. I'm watching Kenichi right now.
Which is a classic that who told you about?
I guess, but I mean, it took me 30 episodes to be like, okay, this show's okay.
Yeah, but now you like it.
I do. I really do.
So maybe hop off the sack just a tad.
I won't. I never will. Absolutely.
Okay,
it's just it's how it's got to be. I'm checking everything out with the OVAs and stuff. Goblin Slayer gets an OVA, if that's your thing. That's a show I might need to catch up on.
Yeah, I need to watch it too, just so I'm aware of what's going on. Not that
Baki got an OVA on June 4th, which is interesting. Oh, maybe it's just part of the season. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Dora Hetero's got one. It's included in the second Blu-ray box, which is interesting. There's some interesting ones. But are you typically an OVA guy?
I don't watch any of them.
Perfect timing ran out. Perfect timing.
I just don't.
Yeah, it's not necessarily my bag, but I think for me, it's something that if the IP I'm super hype on, then I'll give it a go. I did the One Punch Man OVAs. I don't know. It wasn't that great. They weren't that great.
Is this the one where they were up in like the mountains? All the S-class heroes were at like a
Yeah, they came out with 6 of them after season 2.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And it was funny. They toted them to be like, I know you guys are a little upset, but here are these. And everyone was still like, this is the same shit. Like the animation didn't get any better. Like the stories are kind of funny.
Who was upset? You guys need to chill the fuck out.
We have had this discussion. When you go from legendary to great, it still feels like a step down.
Boo.
Still, what are you gonna do?
How's that gate? You still got it?
The gate?
Yeah, the gate. You still got it?
The one that I'm keeping?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. God damn it. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Get clapped.
Down. But I think that's it. In these times of isolation and pandemic, it could feel a little light on the hits. But I guess, like I said in a couple episodes ago, that these times allow for the ones that could have been smothered in a sea of options to really shine. And I think there couldn't have been a better time for, say, God of High School and Tower of God and even Gleipnir to come out. Or even Dora Hetero, which would have been considered some left field shit for a long time.
True.
If we had a very girthy season. But it allowed for some of these left field random shows that people probably wouldn't have watched, and they managed to shine through, and they've been celebrated. So there's a silver lining to all of this isolation cloudiness, I would say. So
yeah, and it's nice to see them kind of like getting back in line, getting back everyone at the office, I assume. I don't know if they're doing this remotely. That'd be insane. But it's nice to see that they're, trying to get back to normal a little bit.
That would be so crazy if they're all animating these in collaboration in remote situations. That would be nutty.
Yeah, I'm just saying Studio Nut does some wild shit.
You can't really do all that in the office together. Can't do it together.
Up.
I don't know. We'll see if it actually if it's a good workflow situation. But
HR
walks into Studio Nut. Oh my God, what have I gotten
what
into?
Happened here?
It's my first day here at Studio Nut, and oh my God, we have
get it.
So
Ew.
much paperwork. My goodness,
so bad.
But thank you all for listening to our season previews. We like doing these because we, again, speculate wildly, pick up shows we never expected, pick some up and hate them, or pick some up that we definitely said would rip, and turns out they do. So we like doing these. So I think that's honestly it. We'll do our plugs. If you like our video content, the video camera is off right now, but you should be seeing just a generalized looping graphic at this point because I have made that a thing.
Very nice.
Yes.
Hey, so put the Patreon thing here.
Okay. Cut. And if you want to listen with just your ears and not your eyes, go to Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Castbox, or anywhere else you get your podcast fix. If you want some extra visual content, go to our Instagram at weebology.podcast. We got memes on news. We have kind of started to freshen up a little bit of the Instagram situation because we have kind of been a little lackluster on that. But
we've acquired a new hand.
Mr. Robo Pat himself, Patbot, has been given the keys to that Corvette, and hopefully he doesn't crash that sumbitch. So
we're not gonna let him crash it.
We're not gonna let him crash it. We're gonna help him behind the wheel. But we also have other ways you can drop us a line, show us some love, or suggest shows we should watch. You hit us up on our DMs on Instagram or our Gmail at weebologypodcast@gmail.com or our Twitter weebologyp. And I think, we have had a stout enough list that we need to go back and look at our list on Syllabus Sidebar, our new extra content. So we will be
agreed heavily.
We'll be deliberating on what shows to watch next from your
So what's your potential best from this season that we just talked about?
From this talk about? I fear giving too much hype to God of High School.
That's crazy because I'm definitely
Are you really?
I think it's gotta be good.
I fear that,
or at least interesting enough to be the best of this season.
I don't want to Icarus it enough that it gets too hyped close to the sun and then it burns up from its own hype. It can never reach the hype the community has been giving it. But honestly,
it's at the hype terminus.
Hype terminus, the hype climax. And
the maximum hype.
But if it's anything like Tower of God, Korean webtoons, you all know how to write a good, compelling shonen story. So hopefully, if Tower of God is any indication, God of High School deserves my hype. So honestly, that's the one I'm looking forward to. But until
folks,
until God of High School does come out, which it should this week when you're listening, I'm Ricky.
And I am Ethan.
And this has been Weebology. Deuces. I was a god in high school, clearly. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
clearly I was.
Let's not start this.
I'm cool.
No.